my god, I have not been this hyped for the NBA Finals since 2022 when the Warriors made it there. Everybody was so sure whoever comes out of the West is going to win the championship. But now the Knicks are up 2-0. They are saving humanity from the aliens. And the Knicks fans are going crazy.
Yo, when we win the fucking champ, we're knocking over the Eiffel Tower. Fuck T-Mobile. New York City's going to the ground. Krogi, your prediction is gonna be wrong.
The Knicks are like the RCB of the NBA. For so many years, they've been at the bottom of the table, but their fan base is so loyal, so crazy about this team. And I thought waiting 18 years for Cup is bad. Damn, the Knicks have waited for 50 plus years. But first, the Knicks need to go to San Antonio.
Lineup of the visiting New York Knicks. 6'5" guard from Villanova, number 3, Josh Hart. 6'2" guard from Villanova, number 11, Jalen Brunson. 6'6" forward from Villanova, number 25, Mikal Bridges. 6'7" forward from Indiana, number 8, OG Anunoby. And a 7-foot center from Kentucky, number 32, Karl Anthony Towns. New York's head coach, Mike Brown.
So much for ethical basketball, huh? Anyway, they've got their karma nicely. Now they're going to Madison Square Garden down 2-0, about to get swept. Mick Johnson's master plan on defense is to keep 7'4" Eiffel Tower in the paint. You want to keep him in the paint? Well, we will take him out of the paint. Now Jalen Brunson sets this screen for Anunoby. Two people go because the paint is empty. Leave Jalen Brunson wide open for the 3, catch and shoot. Because obviously, if you try going at Wemby in the paint, this is what is going to happen. And his master plan on offense is simply give the ball to Wemby in the paint. Fair enough strategy, but you have to open the lane up first. In this position, you cannot get the ball to Wemby. The best thing for you to do is throw the ball off Landry Shamet. The Knicks' game plan is simple. Simply don't let the Spurs do what they want to do. And Hart over height. I mean, how is Josh Hart getting this rebound over Wembanyama? Mick Johnson, he has one big super weapon, he wants to keep using that all the time. Except the Knicks see that coming, so they build a solid wall in this paint. Wembanyama is going nowhere. The only thing he can do is really shoot over Karl Anthony Towns, and that Karl Anthony Towns can contest. Remember, he is also not short, he is 7 feet tall. Instead, no, he tries to dribble through 3 people like one of you high school, middle school players. Obviously, OG Anunoby steals the ball. Now, Stephon Castle, why are you rushing so much to jump? Do you have a flight to catch or what? When the entire team is all around you, you need to have some patience, fake them. Look at how they react before just rushing a pass. Now you're up in the air, you see, oh, this pass is free, you chuck it there. But Mikal Bridges obviously expects that. Now this is looking like Hanamiya's spiderweb. And when you mess up like this on offense, you are going to be out of position on defense. Just watch and learn from Brunson how to handle this. He also gets the screen. Now Luke Cornett is guarding 2-on-1. So look how patient Jalen Brunson is, because it's not just him, right? There are 3 more people on the court. When he picks up this ball, Luke Cornett commits to him. Next he is looking at Champagny. Who does he decide to guard? His man Landry Shamet in the corner? Or is he going to come to stop Mitchell Robinson's role? He comes into the paint and Jalen Brunson correctly passes it to Landry Shamet. You might be fast, you might be athletic, but sometimes you need to just watch and learn from take a deep breath and just slow things down a little. Now, why is De'Aaron Fox guarding Karl Anthony Towns? Was this Mick Johnson's genius decision, or they set a screen and switch? I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But Fox is guarding Karl Anthony Towns now. It's a huge mismatch. Because Karl Anthony Towns can just use his size and get inside. So Wembanyama comes to help, leaving Josh Hart wide open. Harrison Barnes comes to guard him. But look what McBride is doing. He's moving as far away from Harrison Barnes as possible So that first of all, when he gets this pass, Barnes doesn't know where he is. And once he finds him, he has to run quite a bit to contest by the time the ball is already in the basket. This is why experience matters in NBA playoffs, machas. Over here again, Wemby thinks he has a nice one-on-one dance with Karl Anthony Towns, but that is not the case at all. There are two Knicks players ready to help. You know, that's one disadvantage of being tall. You will end up dribbling the ball quite high. So something like Wembanyama's hip will be about OG Anunoby's shoulder. So it's that much easier for a shorter player to steal the ball. Now it is handoff time. De'Aaron Fox is trying to either get over or force Alvarado to the left side where there is nobody. I don't know why you do that. I'd force him to the right where there are more people. But that doesn't matter. Wemby, why are you overplaying? Now Karl Anthony Towns just has a wide open expressway straight to the basket. So he gets under Wemby, off-arm swipe straight for the layup. These Knicks are punishing like every single small mistake the Spurs are making. And hey, the Spurs are young, they're inexperienced, they're making a lot of them. You know, that's how you win, you know. It doesn't matter if someone has a giant, if someone has size advantage, if somebody is 10 times more athletic than you. If they make more mistakes than you and you can punish those mistakes, you will win. Jalen Brunson on Devin Vassell 1-on-1. We all know Jalen Brunson is a tough player to guard. So De'Aaron Fox has come to help on the right side. If you are Devin Vassell, where are you going to send Brunson? Towards the left where there's no defenders and it's his strong hand? Or towards the right where you have De'Aaron Fox helping? How can you let him spin and simply go left? Now for the third time back to back, Mitchell Robinson is setting the screen. Except this time he is setting it almost at half court. So Devin Vassell, you can go under this, you can get back to Bridges. He is not Curry, he is not going to pull up from half court. And Luke Cornett, you need to stick with Mitchell Robinson and don't let him get free for the lob. Instead, what do? You try chasing on the top. You're way out of position. Once again, Luke Cornett needs to guard two people. This time he decides, okay, I'm going to guard Mitchell Robinson, no lobs for you. And he lets Mikal Bridges shoot free throw. Now Jalen Brunson gets into the paint again. I know he's king of New York, captain clutch and all, but do you really need three people to guard him over there? Max 2 are enough, no. You're doing this and you're leaving Landry Shamet wide open in a place where Brunson can directly pass it to him with zero issues. Now you have to close out hard, pump fake, step back, basic basketball. Now pause right here. Harper, why are you coming into the paint on this, leaving your man wide open for three? It's Wemby, like he has the length to contest, maybe even block this shot. Worst case, you're going to give up a tough layup. And look at OG Anunoby. Uses 100% of his brain, sees the future like he's Akashi, and nicely stands in Castle's way so that Castle can't come and contest this three. On this possession, the Spurs are guarding properly for once. Devin Vassell is getting cat from the front, and Wemby is there for backside help. Great stuff! But see what the Knicks do. They're going to ask Wemby some tough questions like they're Socrates. Champagny here is guarding two people. So one of them goes inside, one of them goes outside, completely different directions. He can't get both. Now Wemby has to get hard because you obviously can't let him shoot open threes. Now Karl Anthony Towns has inside position on a much shorter guy. So Wemby is calling for the ball. Good job, like the Spurs have cleared out this entire side of the floor. Wemby has Josh Hart on him, he can take him one-on-one to the ring. All excellent stuff. But why on God's green earth do you turn your back to the ball after this? I mean, this is not the worst turn your back play in this series. but it gives the Knicks a wide open transition three. Like the Knicks have so much beautiful chemistry. It's like watching the prime Golden State Warriors on display. Seriously, how are the Knicks getting so many rebounds against the Spurs when the Spurs have the big height advantage here? I guess we should thank Tom Thibodeau for making them run up and down the court for all 5 quarters last year. That is the secret to why they have 3 times more stamina than the Spurs. Now the Knicks do their standard thing. Clear out this entire space and let Brunson dance one-on-one. See, it's not just James Harden. Almost the entire league can't guard him one-on-one. You need to be sending help if you're the Spurs. Okay, they send help, but this is way too late, okay? What happened? Is your full defense lagging or something? Now Champagny is already beat. He's trying to recover, and Brunson just pulls up right as Champagny is going backward. Why on God's green earth are 2 people going to trap Landry Shamet? This guy is a catch and shoot player, he's not much of a dribbler, one-on-one scorer like Jalen Brunson or something. One person is enough to guard him. You're doing this and you're leaving Josh Hart wide open in the corner. Yeah, okay, Josh Hart is not a shooter, but he is smart enough to cut in. Wemby is going to guard, De'Aaron Fox also turns his head. And McBride does not miss the chance to punish this. He's going to run as far away from Fox as possible. So he's able to get off a 3-pointer. Okay, once again, Mitchell Robinson is setting a screen. You're trying to trap Jalen Brunson in the corner. Excellent stuff. But what is the point of trapping if you're simply going to let him spin and go the other way? Now he has all the space in the world because you pulled your defenders out of position to trap. This is just beautiful, beautiful stuff here, and it happens so damn quick, Okay, so Mitchell Robinson is setting a screen for Jalen Brunson. This time the Spurs do a good job of defending. You see Harper is coming up to make sure Brunson doesn't come off the screen and Wemby can focus on protecting the paint. So instead of forcing this, Robinson turns and sets the screen the other way. Now Jalen Brunson has the lane. He comes off the screen and look at his patience. Keeps his man behind him like he's an auto driver in Bangalore, which gives Mitchell Robinson some time to do this. He sets one more screen on Wemby so Brunson can go for this layup without getting blocked. Wow, 3 screens back to back, same play. This is what you will expect from NBA teams in the finals. Now off one more rebound. Jalen Brunson is going to the corner for an open 3. The Spurs are like, okay, Victor Wembanyama will go. He is tall enough. He can block that shot. Except Karl Anthony Towns is like, no chance. He stands in his way. Now Stephon Castle needs to go. And he doesn't have anywhere near that level of height. Of course, Jalen Brunson makes this. Seriously, the Knicks are looking like a full team of Akashis right now. Everything the Spurs are trying, they already see it coming, they already have an answer for it. Now with this clutch time, and you know who the Knicks are going to go to. Jalen Brunson, ISO, one-on-one. For some reason, the Spurs decide not to send any help again. Now pause. Victor Wembanyama, what are you doing? Standing there, you're not even guarding anybody. You should go and try sending that Brunson shot right out of the building, no? What are you doing standing and watching cinema while Brunson cooks Devin Vassell? Now game 1 is pretty much over. And it's time for game 2. Once again, the Knicks are not going to let Wemby have anything easy. He's trying to set a screen, roll and all this. So they're going to have 4 people cause this massive traffic jam in the paint. They're okay to leave Devin Vassell open and hope that Bridges is fast enough to go and get a good contest. Now they reset. They try to get Wembanyama a drive again, but the Knicks are not going to have any of that. They're going to force somebody else on the Spurs to carry this team. Now the Spurs are just so predictable right now. They're trying so hard to force the ball to Wemby, but the Knicks obviously see that coming. And Mick Johnson, you want to put your 7'4" Eiffel Tower in the paint again? We are going to ask some tough questions. Now he has to close out on Anunoby. Anunoby gets under him, uses his body, nice finish. Here the Knicks are all camping in the paint for some reason. So how do you think Stephon Castle is going to punish this, Machas? Is he going to pass it to Champagny or is he going to pass it to Fox for an open three? I mean, what on God's green earth is he doing? Off this inbounds, now Champagny is giving space. So Jalen Brunson comes in the middle and sets a screen. Now what should you do, Machas? Either Champagny will fight over or this Switch and Castle will contest the shot, right? No. Why are both of them going inside? Now Karl Anthony Towns wide open for the three. Look, this guy, he can do everything. You leave him for a three, he's going to shoot. You give him the ball and do some action inside, he can hit that pass. You play up too close, he can drive also. All-rounder he is. That's one thing which makes the Knicks very unpredictable, you know. And it's not just Karl Anthony Towns. Any player on the Knicks can score and they are okay with it. They've got mad chemistry. Three of them have been playing in college also. Hart, Bridges, Brunson. All were on Villanova together and they won the NCAA D1 championship. Okay, Fox puts his head down and drives straight into Chakra Vyuha. Four Knicks come and surround him. Two Spurs are wide open for the three. Not the greatest defense from the Knicks, okay? But because the Spurs keep taking shots like this, okay, that shot went in, good for you, but it's not always going to work. Like right here, this should be a pass to Champagny. From there he swings it to Vassell, wide open three. That's what the Knicks would have done. Instead, no, you put your head down, you decide to drive. This time the Knicks steal the ball. Just see how differently the Knicks play this same situation. Four people are around Karl Anthony Towns in the paint. So he jumps up, he's going to fake the shot, get his man jumping, and now he's going to swing it to Bridges in the corner, wide open three. When the Spurs make a mistake like this, the Knicks do not miss the chance to punish them. Now on this inbounds, Karl Anthony Towns has a nice runway to the basket. But the problem is, it's tough to get the pass to him because 7'4" alien is in the way. So look what Towns does. He's going to run to the side. Now Wemby is no longer in the middle. He is chasing from behind. Wemby's momentum is coming this way. Karl Anthony Towns beats him that way. People will call this weight room and all, but no, it is position, it is momentum. If Mitch Johnson wants to camp Wemby in the paint, Mike Brown is going to make sure the Knicks punish that. This is just beautiful motion offense, the best thing since the Golden State Warriors in their prime. I mean, Coach Mike Brown was part of the Warriors prime team, so it's not so surprising that their offense looks kind of similar at times. The Knicks decide it's time for Jalen Brunson to dance again. But this time the Spurs don't want that. They're going to send Vassell to double at half court. Arey macha, when we say you need to send help, this is not what we mean. He should be standing about here so Brunson can't drive or pull up for the three, and Castle can just focus on staying tight and guarding without worrying too much about getting beat. What you shouldn't be doing is sending two people all the way towards half court, because now that's a 4-on-3 on the inside. Somebody is going to be open, and this time it's Karl Anthony Towns for three. The Spurs are not learning from their mistakes at all. Once again, they are sending two people to Jalen Brunson. Usually, okay, that is good, but you cannot leave Landry Shamet wide open right next to him. Now look what happens. Wemby has to come to guard Shamet, and when the ball gets sent to Bridges, Champagny has to close out hard. He's going to slip. Now, Stephon Castle, what on God's green earth are you doing? Trying to get this steal as if Brunson won't notice you're coming or what? There is 6 seconds left on the shot clock. You could have waited 3-4 more seconds and tried that, no. Now Brunson can simply swing it to the corner. You waited 3 more seconds, that might have been a shot clock violation. Now Stephon Castle is attacking the rim hard. Wemby is there in case he misses to get a rebound. 4 Knicks collapse inside. Castle can pass it to Dylan Harper for the 3, or he can pass it to Champagny for the 3.
Dribble alive, leans in. Towns
But no, he passes it to Anunoby.
There's Brunson, goes at Champagny. Layup.
Victor Wembanyama. Why on God's green earth are you standing here in the paint? You might be 7'4" alien, but Karl Anthony Towns is very capable of throwing this pass over you straight to OG Anunoby in the other corner. Now you have to close out hard. He uses your momentum, cuts in front like an auto driver in Bangalore, and dunks it right there. Now they have Wemby on Karl Anthony Towns one-on-one in the paint. Obviously, Bridges comes in to help. Now Wemby gives this fake to send Bridges out of here, and he can dance with Cat one-on-one. So he goes up, and Cat just does not have the height to contest that. If they did a little bit more of this instead of rushing all the time, they can really play well.
Wemby got numbers. Vassell, three-pointer. It's good. 2-point game.
Now see, Fox gets into the paint. Now Karl Anthony Towns has to come to guard to make sure that floater isn't wide open. This means Wemby is under the basket, wide open, no help anywhere. Fox just needs to throw this to the moon and you can be sure Wemby will catch it and dunk. See, all these guys need to do is make sure they clear the paint a little bit, then they have an unstoppable weapon in Wemby. But yes, this team, they're still young, they're still inexperienced. Even their coach, Mitch Johnson, he is younger than LeBron and CP3. Can you believe that? Now this is one more fast break. They unlock Wemby's full power. He's running full speed down. Nice runway to take off to dunk. And he gets this and one, putting the Spurs up 2. Damn, they've actually managed to fight back and come back 14 points.
First lead of the second half.
Jalen Brunson hits one clutch shot to tie the game, and now here we are. Of course, the Knicks go back to their clutch time strategy, give Brunson Burner the ball and let him do it. Except this time, he's up against Defensive Player of the Year Wemby. And he misses this. Wemby gets the rebound also. But now, Machas, this is where everything goes wrong. First of all, if you're Mitch Johnson, you should probably be calling a timeout so you can set a play for the game winner. Okay, Mitch Johnson does not want to do that. They've been pushing the pace all game and getting their best buckets like that. Fine. At least De'Aaron Fox, you should be taking the ball from Wemby and setting something up for him like a dunk, right? You're the veteran on this very young team. You should be the one calming them down a little in such high pressure situations. Next, Stephon Castle. Why on God's green earth will you turn your back to the ball while you're running like this? Sure, I know you like to run, but you can't completely lose sight of the ball, no? And last but not the least, Wemby. Why on God's green earth are you throwing the ball seeing that his back is turned? At least call his name, no? Be like, Castle, get the ball. Instead, you throw the game away in one pass. Like, whew. This is stuff we learn in middle school, guys. But yes, I understand it's a young team, pressure gets to them, all of that stuff. Now they have to foul Brunson off of this because otherwise he is just going to hold the ball and go for a buzzer beater. I do not think you want that if you're the Spurs. Even if he misses, it's going to go to overtime. But if you do foul, he gets 2 free throws. Even if he makes both, I mean, you can try for a 3 to win or at least a 2 to tie. So people are saying this was desperation foul, all that. I don't think it was so bad. Anyway, now the Spurs have a chance to win the game on this. Right here, now the paint is looking quite open. So the Spurs are going to try getting it to Wembanyama on a nice runway to dunk it once again. Except see what happens the moment he catches the ball. Shamet comes in, Josh Hart comes in, Anunoby is obviously there already. And of course, Mitchell Robinson is guarding Wemby one-on-one. With the clock running out, he has to pull up for a mid-range shot. This isn't such a crazy tough shot for him, but he just happened to miss this one. Unfortunate for them, the Knicks win. No, seriously, it's crazy. I thought the Knicks can do some good defense and put up a good fight and all, but to think they will be up 2-0 going into Madison Square Garden, I did not expect. I thought one game max. But yeah, now it is looking like a sweep. I don't see how this team is going to be able to play their best basketball with that crowd in MSG. Like, this play must really have gotten into Wemby's head, into Castle's head, into even Mitch Johnson's head. So yeah, let's see how the Spurs bounce back from this. I'm waiting. Subscribe and turn on all notifications, machas, if you like this tactical breakdown. We'll have more for you.